Oregon. This is NBC 16 News at 5.
I know our students are extremely disappointed. They are missing classes, prom, and graduation ceremonies.
Good evening and thank you for joining us for NBC 16 at 5. I'm Jacqueline Mazer. New tonight, Governor Kate Brown extends school closures through the rest of the academic school year. Brown says she does not know when it will be safe for students, teachers, and staff to return.
It is first and foremost to protect our kids and our teachers. It is impossible to adhere to social distancing measures in our classrooms.
Each district is required to adopt a distance learning for all program. For some, that will mean online schooling. In areas with limited internet connections, school education packets will be delivered by school bus. Districts need to implement distance learning for all by Monday. On to breaking news tonight. Eugene police are searching for a suspect after a shooting in the West University neighborhood. Police say the shooting happened around 2:30 this afternoon near 15th and Mill, and one person was hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. Police officers and canines are searching a 5-block radius around the scene. Police say they've detained someone for questioning. It is still unclear if that person has any involvement. NBC 16's Kelsey Christensen will be live from the scene with the latest coming up at 5:30. We now have an update tonight on a sex abuse investigation in Springfield. Police say one of the men they arrested could have had contact with children during his work as a counselor. Springfield police say Craig Steinberg was arrested over the weekend after he was allegedly involved in using child pornography. SPD says Steinberg used to work as a counselor for Scar Jasper Mountain from 1997 to 2007 and had children referred to him by the Eugene 4J School District. He also worked for the Bethel District between 2014 and 15 and again from 2017 to 2019. SPD says he also worked at Vista Counseling as a private contractor since September of last year and taught a mindfulness class at Thurston Middle School. Anyone with information about Steinberg is asked to call Springfield Police. Linn County Sheriff's Office have tentatively identified human remains found off Forest Server Road east of Sweet Home last Friday. Detectives and the medical examiner's office found the remains may belong to a white female between the ages of 30 and 50 years old. The female is believed to have short, wavy brown hair. Investigators continue to work to identify the individual and cause of death. Anyone with information is asked to contact Linn County Sheriff's Office. Moving now on to the latest number of coronavirus cases in the state. Oregon Health Authority announced 58 new cases and 5 more deaths. This brings the number of cases up to 1,240 and the death toll to 38. 3 deaths were in Multnomah County and 2 in Yamhill County. Washington, Multnomah, and Marion counties are the epicenters in Oregon with nearly 800 cases combined. In our region, Benton County stands with 21 cases. Linn County has the highest number in our region with 46 cases. Here in Lane County, there are 32 cases. Deschutes County added 5 more cases and now has 45. Douglas County stands with 12 cases. There are no cases in Coos County. A confirmed case of coronavirus has been linked to an outbreak in Washington County. Linn County public health officials announced that case last night. The confirmed case was a woman in her 50s from the Eugene-Springfield area. She is medically stable and recovering at home. Public health investigators determined the woman contracted the virus in Washington County.
So that's important in our disease investigations and really understanding how the disease is entering into Lane County, and then thankfully being able to really contain it with that one case.
This case brought the number of cases in Lane County to 32. There are no new confirmed cases today. A contract obtained through a public records request shows that the 20,000 tests Governor Brown announced for Oregon 3 weeks ago is actually about half that. The governor even says the contract was signed when in reality it wouldn't be signed for another 2 weeks with 10,000 less tests than she announced. In a statement, Governor Brown says, quote, "Our understanding in March was that the state had an agreement in place with Quest and that Quest had the capacity to run up to 20,000 tests for Oregon. Since then, we have had to revise those estimates." Governor Brown also says she is trying to provide Oregonians with as much information as possible as numbers change every day. The city of Eugene has approved extending the emergency declaration in response to the coronavirus to last until at least April 28th. During the online city council work session, Eugene Springfield Fire Chief Chris Heppel briefed council members on where our area stands with coronavirus. Heppel says the estimated peak date for COVID-19 has been moved up to a closer date of about April 21st. However, he stresses this does not mean we're out of the woods.
While we the weather's getting better and people are starting to maybe feel a little bit of stay home, stay safe fatigue, we really need to encourage folks to maintain that physical distancing from each other.
He explains flattening the curve through that distancing and staying home helps reduce the use of medical resources, which are in high demand during this pandemic. Coming up in the next half hour, how everyday people can help provide more resources to the community. Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders ended his presidential campaign earlier today. Sanders says he will stay on the ballot in upcoming primaries with the hopes of influencing the party platform, including key issues at the now postponed Democratic convention.
Then together, standing united, we will go forward to defeat Donald Trump, the most dangerous president in modern American history.
The move clears former Vice President Joe Biden's path to the Democratic nomination in a showdown with President Trump in the general election in November. Now, after Senator Sanders' announcement, Biden tweeted, quote, "You haven't just run a political campaign, you've created a movement. And make no mistake about it, we believe it's a movement that is as powerful today as it was yesterday." Now, as a reminder, Oregon's primary is May 19th. April 28th is the party choice deadline. Oregon has closed primaries, so you have to be a registered Democrat or Republican to cast your ballot. Ballots are scheduled to go out to voters the last week of April. Well, Governor Brown extended her order of prohibiting dine-in service until further notice, but restaurants can still operate solely on takeout and deliveries. The original order Governor Brown signed forcing restaurants to transition to this model went into effect on St. Patrick's Day. It was set to expire April 14th, but Governor Brown signed this extension yesterday. Now that order is in effect indefinitely until the governor terminates it. Oregon Department of Employment is hiring to deal with the high number of claims filed as businesses remain shut down. A spokesperson says they are adding staff and shifting employees to handle more calls. They're also adding secure phone lines to manage the influx of calls and revamping their website to include data showing when it's the best time to call. And if you're wondering about when you might see that $1,200 stimulus check, here's a timeline. The president signed the bill a week and a half ago, and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says the IRS would start direct payments within 2 weeks. That's next week. A memo said the IRS would start issuing paper checks in early May. But if 2008 is any indication, it took 3 months after a stimulus package was signed for the IRS to send checks. A local nonprofit is raising money for immigrant families who can't receive stimulus checks. Undocumented taxpayers and mixed status families are excluded from relief funds. They won't be getting the $1,200 checks most Americans will start getting this week. Central Latino Americano's goal is to raise $50,000 to give back to the community. They have raised about $10,000 so far. The fundraiser will help families in Lane County pay rent, cover healthcare costs, and even buy food. If you would like to donate, we have a link to their Facebook event on our website, NBC16.com. Food for Lane County is working hard to fill the food gap for unhoused people during the coronavirus pandemic with its dining room program. Coronavirus safety rules apply at the facility on West 8th in downtown Eugene. The inside dining area has been closed since the middle of March, but meals are still being provided 4 days a week.
We bring tables out, and one person at a time can approach the table and grab the meal, and then we're not allowing them to eat on site.
Carrie Copeland says they're serving upwards of 250 people each day the service is open. Meals are served Monday through Thursday. And when we are not on the air, you can still receive the latest information about the coronavirus. You can visit our website, NBC16.com, our Facebook page at KMTR News, and download our app, KMTR News, on your mobile device.